Welcome to the Sonic Days podcast, home of all things audio. This season was recorded live at Sonic Days 2024. As the industry shifts from traditional channel-based mixing to object-based solutions, new tools and workflows are emerging. Sylvain Thévenard from Adamson takes us through the challenges and breakthroughs in integrating immersive audio into complex live show environments.
So, we will talk about integration and interoperability. First, I'm not used to be a talker, so sorry for the tremolo in my voice. I will present what happened nowadays with an audio ecosystem in live spatial production or immersive live production. So, we have more and more tools at our disposal. And all these tools have to be integrated together. So we have many protocols to deal with, audio protocols, data protocols, communication, stuff like this. It becomes a huge amount of things, and the knowledge we should have start to be very important. So I will just I will start to present most of the tools we have at our disposal. As a start, for sure, if we want to make audio, we will have a speaker system. So many brands propose a different kind of speaker system, and it's not the idea to dive into it. But yes, speaker systems are now active speakers. They have most of the time they have DSP integrated. They talk AVB or Dante. They have a communication protocol to drive the parameter inside the DSP. So it's just a new world. Before installing the speaker, we need to prepare the setup. So we will design a venue like this one, and we will use system simulation software. Here, yes, we will enter all our speakers and design the venue, but I think you know that. Once we have done this, we can set up the speakers, and then we have to tune and time align the system. For this, we will use analysis software. Analysis software will deal with microphones, pink noise, FFT, and so on. This is the way you will fine-tune your system to achieve what you want. Then you will have another software to use, is the system control software. This software will talk to the speaker or to the amp of the speaker with the DSP inside, using most of the time OCA protocol. We can come back on this later. So you have a bunch of that kind of software. Then, for sure, you will find the digital mix index. Nowadays, we don't use anymore analog mix index, especially in that situation. So you have many brands available. You will find the new companion of the sound engineer. This is the Spatial audio renderer. So you have several things on the market right now. This is the new evolution. So everyone is coming out with his own software, so you can see Timax, you can see Path Revolution, this is Soundscape, this is the Fletcher machine, this is Space Map Go, this is Eliza, and there are others, so it's not exhaustive, as I said. Then you will find also digital audio workstation more and more, so musicians use, for example, Ableton Live or Pro Tools on stage, but also the sound engineer can use that. Other digital audio workstation. You have show controllers. Show controllers is tools that can talk with several engines to organize the show. You have now tracking system, like here we have one here is the black track system here. So you have many tracking system that also appears because it's great to be able to follow someone on stage, like myself, for example, here with the black tracks, and to have the correct localization of the speakers or the singer. You have other stuff like trajectory design softwares, and so on. You have plugins that manufacturer implemented in DAW or in DES to talk with their solution. So this is ideas of plugins. Then you have protocols. You have many protocols inside of this. You have timecode, you have MIDI, you have OSC, Open Sound Control, you have OCA, Open Control Architecture, PSN, PosiStageNet is more for lighting, and some proprietary protocol. If one engine is talking MIDI and another is talking OSC, you will need something to convert this protocol. So we can find some converters like Châtain, for example, or homemade like Maximus P and Usin, for example, can convert any language into another. And now, okay, the ecosystem. So I talk mainly about everything, and you can see that you have, so I didn't mention lighting, I didn't mention video, but you see you have all these things that works together nowadays, and that have to talk together. So some, as I said, use protocol like OSC, PSN, RTT-RPM. So some others use OSC, some others use OSC, timecode, MIDI. So everyone is using his own protocol, and everyone is using his own language inside the protocol. That's the main issue. So I didn't represent this on this slide, but as I said before, we can use protocol or converters, protocol or language converters that will translate a MIDI into OSC, for example. But the ecosystem is quite complex, and if you put a converter more, it becomes more and more complex. And yes, it's not the finality. We want something more easy to use. That comes to the title of my presentation. So I talk about integration and interoperability. Integration is when, for example, you have a special audio renderer that is built by a company, and this company wants to talk with Mixindex. For example, here you have the soundscape from DNB, and DNB wants the Digico console to talk with their engine. So they went to see Digico and say, okay, we can use this word. Can you implement this in your desk? So Digico did the word, and now Digico is able to talk with the soundscape. But Eliza came on the market, and Eliza from Acoustic doesn't understand the soundscape, doesn't understand the Digico. So Acoustic went to Digico and said, okay, can you implement something for us, because we have to talk together. Okay, then comes the Fletcher machine from Adamson, then comes Space Map Go from Meyerson, and everyone went to Digico, and Digico built new tools in his console. We did the same with Avid, for example, the SXL, so everyone went to Avid and said, okay, we want a plugin to your console. Okay, you have to build it by your own, but we can help you for that. So this is integration. Now, okay, some tools can talk with other tools. It can be OSC, it can be another protocol for the communication, but anyway, still the Digico can't talk with Spat Revolution, for example, because Spat Revolution doesn't understand neither the soundscape, the Eliza, and so on. So this is new tools, you have to implement this, and you don't go anywhere with this. So this is integration. So integration, yes, you have to program custom software to be able to talk with your own engine. And we want to go to something more open, something that can interoperate between everyone and not just implement some stuff, yes, everyone on our side. And so the interoperability is something more open, and you choose a language and everyone can understand and talk to this language. That's where we are. And my introduction was to go to this. So for several years now, it started in France, to be honest, with people from the National Conservatory in Paris and some people from, I remember DNB, a guy from DNB, and they were talking about everything I said just until now, and said, okay, we should find something to simplify all that stuff. So they started to talk, and then They organized a first meeting with other company, and yes, it went to a team, mainly people coming from the speaker manufacturer, most of them. But this is the industry that built a spatial audio renderer, so they came together and they developed an ADM OSC specification, and it was launched just last month in New York. So I will explain this. So this is the team that wrote the paper. So you can see that there was a guy from DNB, one from Adamson, one from Flux, one from Lavo. It's a mixing desk. It's not a renderer, a spatial renderer. One from Acoustic, and myself from Adamson. So we wrote this paper, and this is not a protocol. This is a specification, and I will explain what does it mean. But we work together to be able to that everyone can talk together with something simple. And this is ADM OSC. So, what is ADM OSC? First, as we come from the spatial audio world, many want to exchange position data of objects into an area. That's why we talked about object-based audio, OBA. And so the idea is to be able to send message and read message that, for sure, it's over the network, but this is the same message for everyone is able to talk and to read those message. So yes, position of object into the space, to an area, will be very efficient. The idea was to unify this huge ecosystem and to have something everyone can talk together. Yeah, as I said, the key developers and manufacturers collaborating together to on this metadata sharing. Yes, and that's it. So why ADM OSC? So in the ecosystem I shown before, we saw that there's many protocol available. One is very easy to use and almost everyone use it is OSC, Open Sound Control. OSC is implemented in the majority of the desk, the softwares and the spatial audio renderer and everything. This is something that is quite strong and easy to use. But it's just a vehicle for a language, but this is not a language. So we decided to go to look at the ADM, audio definition model, that doesn't come from our world because we are mainly dealing with live entertainment shows or stuff like that. And ADM is more coming from the broadcast side and the cinema. So the audio definition model is something, I won't talk too much about that because it's not my preferred skill, but yes, in Atmos and stuff like that, you make a mix and you have object, and so every sound is then exported with his own metadata. This metadata gives you level of the object, position of the object. If the object is moving, you have the position during the movie, descent to the reverb and so on and so on. So this is the ADM. So this is something that everyone is referring to this, from Dolby to Apple Music and so on. So we decided to look at this. In the definition model, you have many things, as I said. So you have the global format, the program content, the object, the channel format, audio channel format, audio stream format, and so on, and the parameters. So we decided to select two things in the ADM that are relevant for us. This is for sure the object and the parameters of the object. And then, so why using OSC? So I said that OSC was quite a lot developed in our world and in all the audio world, because it is very useful. It was developed because before we were using MIDI, and MIDI was too constrained, and it was an old protocol. So we developed OSC, and what is good with OSC? It's easy to implement, easy to understand. It's very lightweight network protocol. And for the end user, it is something, it's important, it is human readable, so everyone can read an OSC program, which is not the case, for example, for something like XML, and even MIDI is not that easy to read. For OSC message, you have the message itself, the object, if it relates to an object, you have, if an integer, a float, a string, a boolean, or something like this, and you have the value. So it's very easy to use. So we decided to use the OSC and to put the ADM over OSC. So as I said before, who is using OSC in their production? So in the digital audio console or digital audio workstation, you have many people, Steinberg, Digico, Lavo, SSL, Yamaha, and many more. I talk about live industry, but also in the game engine, Unity, Unreal are using OSC. OBE editor, object-based audio editors and renderers like the one I said. In show control, Merging Ovation, Modulo PQ Lab are dealing with OSC for a long time now. Tracking systems like NowStage, Stage Tracker, Zack Tracks, and so on, and also video systems. So, yes, I already said that, but OSC is something, it's not something new for people, it's something that everyone knows very well. So what is the principle? The principle is very simple. You have a sender, someone who wants to say something, and so he will send to the metadata stream the information with the name of the object, his value, and name of the parameter he wants to send, and the number of the object. And the receiver on the other side will be able to read this information and to analyze and organize this. Sender usually object editors, so it can be many things in the system we saw before. So tracking system can be a sender, trajectory software, show control, DAW. So this is possible senders. And receivers can be the spatial audio renderer, can be an ADM renderer, because it's something we are working on also to come back to the ADM world. It can be an object editor or a bridge, because ADM is also developing another party's SADM, serial ADM, to have something like the OSC that is not something you read and how to say that? Yes, parameters can be sent in real time. It's not the case for the ADM at first. Okay, very quickly, how it works, what is the presentation of these messages. Maybe you are familiar or not with OSC, but yes, we see that here is not very difficult to understand. So you will have the message, the object, and the value. So if I go back here, sorry. All message for sure will contain ADM. So we know that this is the first we receive something. Okay, this is an ADM message, and now the software can pass the message depending on what's coming next. Three different possibilities. One is related to the sound object. So that this is the descriptor of the sound object. So it will in the name, in the address, you will find object. And here, so you have the position in Cartesian mode, X, Y, Z, in spherical mode, azimuth, elevation, and distance. You can have the name, mute, gain, width, and some distance reference to take in the distance of the object from, for now, only an agnostic center, but maybe in the future we'll have some more thing. So these are all the descriptors that are now implemented in this first release. So you can send position separately or all together, embedded in one signal, or separated, same for the Cartesian or for spherical. Then you will have the environment descriptor. So for now we just implemented program changes because this is what we need at first. And yes, we started to have a look on the listener descriptor, because in our audio world, when we deal with an immersive system like this one, usually we don't care about the listener position or the listener orientation, but it's not the case for gaming, for example, or virtual reality, or yes, in binaural, it can be important. So this lead to 6 DOF, 6 degree of freedom. So yes, if you send this, listener position will be adapted. Yes, very quickly, because I started with presenting some people that work on this paper. So we are a small team that work on this paper, but then this not only these 6 people that work on this, it's a better, wider group. And this is I'm not sure it's exhaustive, but this is the company that has already implemented ADM message in their engines or software. So you can find the Fletcher machine for the Adamson, Soundscape from DNB, Eliza from L-Acoustic, Space Go from Meyer Sound, Spat Revolution from Flux, and Console from Lavo. For sure, this is the 6 people that wrote the paper. But then you have merging technology with Ovation and Pyramix. You have Steinberg with Nuendo. You have QLab. You have Zack Tracks and Now Stage that are 2 tracking systems. You have Spatial Audio Designer. You have Modulo P. And I think we missed some, but I don't remember one now. So it started to grow, and more people are interested in this. Yes, and just you can understand that, yes, this is engine can be sender, receiver, or both. So RX is reception, TX is transmission, and the other one is the engine that can talk, understand these messages. So back to this ecosystem. Here was the ecosystem I presented before, with many different languages and many issues to connect everything. And now this can be just something much easier to understand, because now everyone is talking only one language over one protocol. So yeah, that's much more easy. For now, I presented only the spatial audio immersive production. But as I said, we talked also with people from gaming, we talked with Dolby, we talked with many other companies and world, as we can say. So here is something, I don't want to go too deep in that, but yes, you see that virtual reality can be inside the ecosystem. Then you can have monitoring on binaural, like Klang system and everything. Yes, you have binaural render here. It can be for the stage 2, and so on. And yes, just to finish my talk, just a use case. This use case will is related to several companies. So we will talk about an artist called John Burns that he made a production in Paris in 2021 in a studio called Dessins Animés. It was because unfortunately it closed now. It was an immersive studio for to create spatial and audio immersive, not only content but more for artists to be able to use this new technology, so musicians can come, plug their stuff and try to work with a 3D environment, because it was a dome. The studio was a dome. So that guy, Don Burns, worked with Mathieu Rossi, and they worked with the Fletcher machine and Spat Revolution 2 for binaural rendering. So the Fletcher machine is a tool that embarks a very powerful trajectory engine. So they design all the trajectory, everything for the music inside the Fletcher machine. Then they did a first show in Paris. Yes, in La Rotonde, a beautiful place. So they play here with the Fletcher machine. And then that guy has a new show coming in the US, but that time it was not with the Fletcher machine. It was with the DNB DS100, the Soundscape. So he faced one issue, because everything was prepared into the Fletcher machine. All the trajectory, all the movement he prepared for his show were made into the Fletcher machine. And the Fletcher machine at that time and the soundscape can't talk together. So he came to us and said, okay, what can I do? Because I prepare everything with your engine and now I have to play with the soundscape. What we did at first, because ADM was in the field, but ADM-OSC was in the field, but it was not ready, so not implemented in both engine and not ready as a specification. So yes, we built an OSC converter. So we built a little piece of software that can read the data coming, DOC data coming from the Fletcher machine, and to send the correct data to the DS100. So he did his show like this, and fortunately he had another show 1 year later with the same environment. So he used the Fletcher machine remote to drive the soundscape, but now with the ADM message. So he was able to have directly the remote of the Fletcher machine talking to the DS100 with this ADM protocol I presented. And yes, that was his presentation. Okay? Yes, I think I am at the end of this talk.